Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the K and B Music Den. I am the K, Keith. Brad will not be joining us on this particular video. Once in a while, we're going to do these album reviews solo, so you'll be seeing some from just him in the near future. But this is going to be just the K of the K and B today for you, and I am going to review the brand new album, Viva Las Vengeance, by Panic at the Disco. Now, this is a band that I have very little familiarity with going into reviewing this brand new album. More of a songs band than an album band for me up to this point. Very unique style. This is their 7th studio album. If you're not familiar with the band, their music has been described as everything from pop punk musical theater to vaudevillian chamber pop and all points in between. And I think that those are pretty accurate descriptions. Very unique sound. The singer, Brendan Urie, I hope I'm pronouncing that last name right, but Brendan has an absolutely incredible vocal range. I mean, this guy can go super low and way, way high. It's really, really amazing. This, for me, is the kind of band that I have to be in the mood for. And what I mean by that is there are bands like, obviously, the Beatles and, different artists that I love, like Ryan Adams and Counting Crows, REM, Radiohead. The list goes on and on and on for me. Those are bands that I can put an album on by them and immediately I'm in that mood. No matter what mood I was in before I put the album on, they just take me there. Boom. A band like this, there are times when I would be like, this is what I want to listen to, this kind of style. And then there are other times where it's just too much. Their sound is go big or go home, and I respect them for that. They go for it and they achieve it. But for me, as an old fuddy-duddy, I kind of have to be in the right mood for it. Now, that being said, I enjoyed this album. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, if that makes sense. And I enjoyed it more with each repeat listen. Now, again, if you're not too familiar with them, I'm sure a lot of people that click on this video are familiar with them because they see Panic at the Disco. But they are, especially on this album, very influenced by the band Queen. But again, for me, as amazing as they are, Queen is a band I have to be in the right mood to listen to. And if you took Queen and kind of like Fall Out Boy, let's say, and mixed them together, it's kind of what this sounds like to me. So again, this band is, when I listen to them, there are times when I think I'm either too old or too uncool to fully appreciate what they're doing here. But like I said, every time I listen to it, I just like it a little more. Now, I did own, and still do own, their first 2 studio albums. Again, this is their 7th, Viva Las Vengeance. Their first one, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. I do own that. And I Write Sins, Not Tragedies was a big song for them off this. That's a really cool song. And then Pretty Odd, their 2nd studio album, I also own as well. So I do have some familiarity. Like big Panic at the Disco fans can sing every line on both these albums. I'm sure I cannot. But I do enjoy, what they do. So again, this album really, it comes out of the gate swinging with the title track, Viva Las Vengeance. Really just grabs you and lets you know, if you're not familiar with this band, what they're all about. I mean, it's the bigger the better. It's sometimes when I listen to some of the songs on this album, you're feeling like, gosh, if they put one more harmony vocal or one more guitar line or, one more instrument on this song, like it would burst out of the seams and like something would happen, like it would explode or something. Like they take it right to the edge a lot. And that's their sound. And again, goes back to I have to be in the right mood for me personally. But I think throughout this is a solid album. A real, real big, I get a real big Queen vibe off of this, which is, that's a big compliment, obviously. Very creative. Some like time signature changes and like dynamic changes in the middle of a song where it's going full bore and then it breaks down to just the piano, or the opposite where a song will start with just the piano and then it kind of, that's another thing I noticed too. There were songs here and there where it's like, okay, they're kind of breaking it down where you can really focus on how amazing this guy's voice is. And it's almost like they couldn't resist the urge to, okay, you're halfway or maybe even 2/3 into the song and they gotta, all right, now we gotta pull out all the stops and go big before the song ends, which is just kind of a, a running, I don't want to say theme, but a running approach to the album, let's say, that, again, I got to give him credit for. So, there were a lot of cool lyrics in this album, actually, but one of the ones that jumped out to me initially, I believe it's the second song on the album, second or third song. It's called Middle of a Breakup. Pretty sure it's the second song. And in the chorus, Brendan sings, "Keep your disco, gimme T-Rex, make up sex in the middle of a breakup." Now, my fear is that some of the younger fans that are way cooler than I am may not catch the reference or may not be familiar with T-Rex, which was a glam rock group from the 70s that are just absolutely fantastic. Bands like this now in our modern day would not exist without bands like Queen and T-Rex, David Bowie, Mott the Hoople, all that stuff. So, and my fear was that if that reference flies over their heads, they might be missing out on some great music that it inspired the band they love, Panic at the Disco. So I just did want to mention T-Rex because I'm a big T-Rex fan. And I have The Slider, this is a great place to start if you don't know T-Rex. This is a fantastic album. And then I recently got another one of their albums on vinyl, finally, which I haven't listened to it on vinyl yet, but obviously I've heard the album. It's called Tanks. So, great stuff. Mark Bolan, amazing stuff. So check that out if you like these guys. I think you'll like the T-Rex as well. But clearly the singer is influenced by them. He also name-checks some other bands throughout the album. I know he mentions Frank Sinatra. I believe he mentioned STP at one point. And there's another one that escapes me off the top of my head. But yeah, again, this band, this album is a bit out of my wheelhouse for what I typically throw on an average day. But that's actually a big reason why I wanted to listen to it and review it, because I saw this was coming out and I said, I like these guys. I'm not as familiar maybe as I should be. I want to see what they're doing now. I'm more familiar with the earlier work. So again, just more a song here or there over the past, several albums. Again, with so much music that I have to listen to, it's hard to keep track of everyone. But I wanted to jump in on this new one and see, okay, where are they now, so to speak? And I think they're in a really good place. This is a solid album. And again, each time I listen to it, it wins me over a little more. Some people say this kind of music is over the top. And it's not like the guys in the band don't know that. Like, that's what they're going for. Bombastic could be another word to describe this band and this album. Again, that's what they're going for. And they're doing it well. And, all throughout, what really ties it together are the lyrics, which are very cool. And his voice. His voice is just, the range seems absolutely limitless. In fact, on the first track, Viva Las Vengeance, he's singing and singing, and by the very, very, very end, like the last few seconds, he's hitting a high note, and then he goes up and hits it like way higher, just and holds it out at the end. And it's almost like if you listen to the song the second time after that's how it ends, it's like the entire song is bubbling under, and he's just waiting, like he's got it in his arsenal, and he's just waiting for that last moment to give you the And he nails it. It's so cool. So yeah, again, a little out of my wheelhouse, but that's why I wanted to review this. Viva Las Vengeance, a great opening track to the title track. And I think it's a cool concept. There's some lyrics that are repeated throughout the album that kind of reappear. Off the top of my head, I hope I have this right. I think one of the repeated lyrics, he says, shut up and go to bed. I think that's used in a couple different songs throughout the album. So it's kind of cool, just different like recurring motifs, so to speak. But again, I recommend, even if, you don't know the band or you've heard some of their songs, you're like, not my thing. I would check this out. I would definitely check this album out. And for, hardcore Panic at the Disco fans that know more about the band than I do, I would love to hear your thoughts on the new album, how it stacks up to the rest of their discography. So please put that in the comments. And I do want to mention before I wrap up the review here that my favorite tracks were Viva Las Vengeance, the title track, and the opening track. I believe it's the third song, Don't Let the Lights Go Out. Check that song out. That's really good. And you want to talk about influenced by Queen, the song God Killed Rock and Roll. Woo! That's got Queen up and down and all around it, and it sounds cool. So, hey, check it out. Let me know what you think. I had fun listening to this. I like to step out of my wheelhouse. One of the reasons that I wanted to do this channel is to keep a closer eye on the new releases that are coming out, and there've been so many this year. And, not just do the ones that I already know I love the band, just kind of be like, oh, I know that band, but I've kind of haven't been on my radar for a while. What are they putting out in 2022? What's this album sound like? Would I listen to it again? I definitely would. I'm glad I listened to it. I'm glad I got a chance to review it here for you folks. So let me know what you think in the comments. Again, Viva Las Vengeance, the new album from Panic at the Disco. Let me know what you think. Again, this is the K&B Music Den. And please like this video, share it on social media, smash the bell for notifications to get notified every time we drop a new video. And please subscribe to the channel. We would appreciate it. Thanks for all the initial support. We're about a month into this, and we're just really overwhelmed with the amount of folks that are watching. It means a lot to us, and we hope to continue to bring you the content that you enjoy. If you have ideas of things you want us to review or content, please let us know in the comments, and we'll do our best to accommodate. So once again, I'm Keith from the K&B Music Den. Thanks for watching, and check out Panic at the Disco. Viva Las Vengeance.